Hi guys, I hope you're all well. So, I thought I'd do part two, episode two of my cancer journey. We've done one, so I did promise you um, I would do a series telling you all about my cancer journey to just try and help someone. And if someone's suffering out there, you know, go to the doctors. If something doesn't feel right in your body, go to the doctors because we know our body's best. We have to be our own advocates at the end of the day, don't we? So, carrying on, let's get on with it. Carrying on from part one, episode one. So where were we? Yeah, we just gone into the scan, hadn't we? I was in A&E. They took me for a scan. So we went in the scan, had a scan, come back out, and obviously waiting in A&E, waiting in there. Then I have to think what happened. Oh yeah, they it wasn't long before they took me up to the ward, um, showed me to my bed. It said we're going to put you on drip overnight and see how you get on because they didn't really know what was wrong with me at this point. So Jay went home. I was getting settled on the bed and everything, and I think it was about 10-15 minutes later, the doctor come that seen me, that examined me in A&E and said, can you call your husband back? And I was like, it makes you worry, when they say that, can you call your husband back? You're like, I wonder what the hell's going on. So it's like, yeah, I'll call him. And actually, the doctor called him and said, can you come back in? So poor Jesus only just got home. Um, just opened the front door, got in, the phone was ringing. So they called him back in. So he was like, oh, I wonder what's going on. So by this time, I think it was about midnight or something. And he come in and then we went in this like side room, this like room off the ward. The surgeon come to see us and the doctor, and he was saying like, we've got to do an operation, emergency surgery. And it's like I was taking it in, but I wasn't taking it in, if that makes sense, because I just couldn't believe what was happening. Because it's like, right, we need to do emergency surgery. You might need a stoma. We don't know if it's going to be ileostomy or colostomy. And then he was saying ileostomy is harder to look after and all this. And I was like, God, what's going on? We found something. Um, a mass, we don't know what it is, and then started to ask me like, why didn't you go for the colonoscopy? So I had to explain to him like that I was violently sick with it and I couldn't. And he was saying like, well, I could wait till the morning and give you a colonoscopy then to see what's going on, but I'm not prepared to wait. Like, we need to do this operation now. And I think, looking back, I think he was scared of my bowel actually perforating, burst, because that would have been awful, because all of that, poo and all that poison going into my blood would not have been a good outcome at all. So he was like, yeah, we'll do an emergency surgery. We'll just send the anaesthetist to see you, make sure everything's all right. So I was like, God, I was hearing him, but I don't think I was taking it all in. Although I know what a colostomy was because my nan used to have one. So it was kind of like, it was just shock and like, oh wow, like, and I didn't have time to think about it, because I think if I'd have had time to think about it, like it was a prepared operation, I think me personally, I would have fretted, and so I think emergency was probably the best outcome for me because I didn't have time to think. And with me, when I think about things, I get all like stressed and anxious, about it. So I think in regards to being emergency, I think that was the best thing for me, rather than a prepared operation, something that you're going to have and it's inevitable, because I think you panic and worry more, whereas if you just rushed in, you don't have no time, do you, to think. And so that was probably the best thing for me, for it to be emergency, and just get it over and done with, because I had no time to think at all. So they went, and me and Jason was just like looking at each other like, oh, I can't believe it. So I tried to phone my son, couldn't get hold of him. So I thought, I can't, you know, the anaesthetist. I couldn't try no more. The anaesthetist was on his way. So he come in. He was such a nice guy. They all were lovely. He said, let's have a look down your throat, make sure everything's normal. Yeah, everything's fine. Asked me if I was on medication. I'm on blood pressure medication and Epilene for my epilepsy and all that. So I had to let him know all that. And then next minute, it's like all hell broke loose. It was like, right, Jesus was going home. I was getting prepared for surgery, going back to the bed, getting me a gown. Next thing I know, the trolley's coming for me, and I'm like, oh God, well, this is it, isn't it? Getting on the trolley, being wheeled down. I was absolutely, I was so nervous. But yeah, I was so nervous, but also wanted to be out of pain. So yeah, we went in there, and also I remember saying, "Don't let me die, don't let me die," because I was so scared. And they were like, "You're not gonna die, love, not on our watch," and all this. But they were absolutely amazing with me, really lovely. So Jace went home. I went down to theatre. I think I went down about, I think it was about 2, you know. It was about 2. It was about 2 o'clock on the Monday morning that I went down, and I think I got back. Yeah, because Jace phoned up the hospital, and I think they said that I come out about 6 o'clock, so it's like 4 hours in surgery. So yeah, so I'm just trying to remember what happened. Yeah, they were saying you won't die, love, and all this, and prepping me and telling me what I was having done, And then we went into the prep room just before the theatre, and that's where they give me the injection. Oh my God, I was so scared. But yeah, then I fell asleep. Then I didn't know anything. Excuse me, guys, I'm so tired. Till I come, well, I remember obviously having the needle. I remember that, and then don't remember anything until obviously I was coming round, and also remember saying, "Is I'm in pain, the pain, oh my God, the pain, pain," and they were saying like, the nurses and everything were saying, "Christine, we are giving you pain relief, but you're gonna have to wait till it works." Like, obviously, I understand like they give it you and you've got to wait for it to work, but I was just like, the pain, the pain, the pain. Oh God, I've never felt pain like it. It was horrendous. Um, but yeah, so I got over that. Remember saying that, the pain, and then I don't remember anything then until I woke up in bed, and it was really weird, you know, because they had moved me wards, but I didn't know, because when I went down for my surgery, I remember being in the middle bed on the right hand side, and when I woke up, I was on the end bed on the right hand side, and I couldn't fathom out like what's happened. And then Jace told me they moved me from ward. I think it was ward. Was they on ward 13? They moved me to 12, or was it the other way around? Something like that. I think they moved me from 13 to 12 actually, because I couldn't fathom out when I woke up. Like, why am I in this bed? I thought I was in the middle bed. So yeah, Jace was telling me that they moved me. So yeah, so I remember saying the pain, then I don't remember anything until I woke up in bed, in the end bed, and I couldn't make out why. And I wasn't in pain really, because I think they were giving me morphine then, and I had Oromorph as well, which, oh my God, I'll tell you about that further down the line, but that's lethal. Like, it's fucking great painkiller, but my God, it makes me hallucinate. Made me hallucinate. Crazy. But yeah, so I wasn't in pain when I woke up. I was just really sleepy. And then I remember Jace coming in. Visiting was 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 7. So I remember him coming in on the Monday, and my son coming as well. It was lovely to see them, but I was trying like to say things to Jace, and I couldn't work out what I wanted to say, and I couldn't say it, and I was so sleepy. I was so tired, but I was wanting to talk to him, but I couldn't. I was just out of it basically. And then what happened? Yeah, I remember, yeah, they visited me and then I was in and out of sleep and they were saying, just sleep, Christine, just go to sleep. And I was like, oh, I didn't want to be rude. I wanted to talk to them. You know, when you really want to talk, you're like, oh, I can't. Um, but yeah, and I had this stripes obviously going into me and all sorts. And then, what happened there? Then they went and then, because, yeah, visiting 3 till 7 and then they went at 7. Although I wasn't conscious of any time scale or time frame. I hadn't a clue. And then on the Tuesday, um, I don't know if I think I slept really well that Monday night actually. Then on the Tuesday, when I woke up, they were like, Christine, you having something to eat? And I'm like, no, I don't want it. It took me ages to eat again because I think before the operation, I was permanently like throwing up. And I think I have a fear of throwing up. I hate being sick. It's the worst. And I had it in my head because I've been sick so much. I was like, I don't want to eat now because if I don't eat, I'm not going to be sick. But they're like saying, oh, have a bit of breakfast. And I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. Well, if we get you a yogurt, will you eat a bit of that? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll eat a bit of yogurt. So I remember they brought me a yogurt. It's blackcurrant. Oh my God, it was the beautifulest yogurt I've ever tasted. It was gorgeous. Blackcurrant, real fruity. It was lovely. And I ate half of that. And then they're saying, well, Christine, that's better than nothing. So yeah, I had that. And then what happened on the Tuesday? Let me think, guys. Yeah, I had that. And then obviously they come and do blood pressure and all that, don't they? And stuff like that. And then waited round till 3 for Jason and Gary, my son, to come in again. And yeah, I think it was that day where... Did I get up? Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I wanted to get out and sit on the chair, you know, them big chairs that they have next to the bed. So I wanted to sit on that. They got me out of bed, sat on that, and I thought, oh God, I am gonna throw up. I felt I didn't feel great. So I goes to Jace like, pass me one of them balls, and I was next minute, all the, it was just bile. Like I think it was just from the operation on my stomach and everything. It went everywhere. Them balls are just not big enough, are they? Like, I was just holding like that next minute. Gary, he said, oh my God, Mum, it's like The Exorcist. It's like, it went everywhere, it went all over the floor. And there's me saying to Jason, clean it up, clean it up. There's poor Jason with his hands and he's cleaning this sick. I'm terrible, aren't I, saying that? But then the nurses come and everything, and then they said, go and weigh this, go and weigh this. I'm like, oh, go weigh it. I suppose they have to do that though, don't they? But yeah, they did that. And I think I got back in bed because I just felt shit again. I think I might have got up too early, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, maybe it was too much for me. But then, on the Wednesday, is it the physio people come round and say, Christine, you're going to try a little walk. And he had a little walk on the Wednesday. But let's go back to the Tuesday anyway. Yeah, I was sick, got back in bed. And then I think it was like just talking to Gary and Jason. Then they went, 7 o'clock they went. And then I think basically it was just like, I don't think I had anything to eat, you know. I don't think I did. I think they gave me some protein shakes. I fucking hated them as well. Oh, they were awful. Vanilla flavour, I hated them. I said, I'm not having vanilla. I will have strawberry if you've got strawberry. I'm not having vanilla. They're horrible. Well, I didn't like them. But, yeah, and then, excuse me, what happened then? They went home. Yeah, just stayed in bed, slept. But like I said, then on the Wednesday, yeah, the woman come round for physio, got me up out of bed. I walked quite well actually, because all of the nurses and doctors like were amazed at how quickly I got out of bed, how quickly I was walking, how quickly I recovered really. But this is what's the name? This is strange, you know, for me because I was so scared that it was cancer, because when somebody mentions like a mass or a tumour, you're like, oh God, you have a rough idea, don't you, it's cancer. And the thing is with me, I was so scared of hearing them say, right, you've got cancer. Because I just didn't want to hear it. So when the doctors would come round to see me, how are you, Christine? This, I used to keep on talking because I was scared of them saying like, oh yeah, you've got cancer. I didn't want to know. So I just talking over them about, I thought, God, how rude she, but I was just so frightened of hearing them say that, hearing them give me that diagnosis. So it was one, I can't remember which day it was now, where Jace went into the room, and that's when they told us the news. I can't remember what day. It wasn't Wednesday, was it Thursday? It might have been Thursday, you know, when Jace come in, and then I'm digressing, aren't I? I'm going off track. So anyway, on the Wednesday, I got up, I started to walk. Jace come in, and when he came in, he got me in a wheelchair, and we all went down the shops, down to the shop in the hospital, to when I got my appetite back. We used to get a pasty and a cup of tea and sit outside. It was the best. My son, laughing and joking, pushing me in the wheelchair, nearly took me out. These two old women were like, oh, look, she nearly fell out of that. It was so funny because going over these ramps, I was like, Gary, be careful. It was really funny. But yeah, because when they used to come in, like, I think from the Tuesday, or from the Wednesday onwards, I used to get in the wheelchair, and we used to go down to the shop and go sit outside for a bit. It was really nice. To like look forward to that at 3 o'clock when they both come in, and we could go down to the shop and just have a chit chat and get me out of the hospital. It was really good. And then I had to have more scans, CT, MRI. They did take me down for an MRI one day, but then I couldn't have it done because I still had my stitches in, you know, the staples. I had them in, so they couldn't do it me because it's magnetic, isn't it? So I had to wait. I had to go back to the ward and then wait for them to have my stitches out before I could have an MRI. I absolutely hate MRI. They're the worst. I hate them. And I said, I don't want another one unless it's absolutely necessary. I don't mind CT. I mean, I'm not keen on them, but I will have a CT. I much prefer CT than a MRI. I don't like them. I feel my anxiety is really bad in that. I had to say to her, like, stop. Like, I want to get out, I want to get out. Well, we can't, Christine, because we're going to lose all the pictures. I was like, oh real, we've only got about 10 minutes, but I tell you, it's the longest 10 minutes, I hate them. Altogether, it took 20 minutes. I can't remember what the day that was now. Was it Thursday? No, it can't have been. It must have been after. Yeah, it was after I had my stitches out, and I come home with my stitches in. I had to go to the doctors to have them out. So yeah, it must have been about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks after surgery when I had MRI. I had CT scans, all right, but yeah, I'm digressing, aren't I, guys? But yeah, I think, what day did it come out? Come out on a Monday, didn't I? It wasn't a Friday, yeah, because it was in the weekend, so I was in for a week. But I was so scared of coming home because the doctors like come round. Are you okay to go home? I think this is on the Monday actually. I'll go back in a minute, guys. I'm just digressing, aren't I, from everything. But on the Monday they come to me and said, Christine, do you want to go home? I was like, oh, no, not really. Do you know what, guys? If I'm honest, I didn't really want to come home. I was so scared of dealing with my stoma. I was really scared of dealing with it because I was scared. Because if something went wrong, because Jason's out at work a lot, he works shifts, so I'm on my own a lot, and I was so scared of something going wrong. I mean, when you're in hospital, you can just press a bell, can't you? Press a button, and the nurses are there, and you've got like help on tap, haven't you, really? But when you're at home and you're on your own, I shit myself, I'll be honest, because I was like, fucking hell, if something goes wrong, I know I've got no one. I mean, I could have phoned a stone and you know, all that, but it's frightening. So when the doctors come, Christine, do you want to go home? I was like, I'm not sure. You don't seem very keen. I'm like, in my head I was thinking, I'm not really keen. So they said, right, we'll do your bloods, and if they're all right, you can go home. Well, my bloods was all right, but I'm going to go back again, guys. so on the Thursday, I'm sure we went on the room in the room on the Thursday where we saw the surgeon, Mr. Hussein. It was a lovely man, lovely man. Sarah, the colorectal nurse, you know, and because I was so scared of them telling me I've got cancer, right, I took my I took my toast in, right, and started boring it and putting marmalade on it in front of him because I was sort of taking my mind off hearing the word cancer by doing something else. I know it might sound crazy, but that's how I deal with things. And even Sarah said when I mentioned it to her after, she goes, I know we both know exactly why you brought your toast in, why you was doing that, because you were scared. And I said, absolutely, I was scared. I really was. So it's a good job Jason was there, really, because he told me everything when we come out. I said, what did they say? Because I was hearing, but I was listening, but I wasn't hearing exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like I could hear what he was saying, but I wasn't taking it in. So that's why when we come out, I asked Jane, right, what happened? Da, 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 da. So it's a good job he was there, really. But you would laugh because I was in there, I was buttering my toast, and then it fell on the floor right near his feet, and he picked it up and put it on the plate. Oh, God, it was so funny. Looking back now, it's funny, but at the time, I was shitting myself, really was. So yeah, he confirmed it. It was, you know, hang on a minute, I think I've got that wrong, you know. I've got that wrong. Yeah, right, okay. So what he told us in the room, I've got that wrong, guys. What he told us in that room was I had a very large tumour, which was blocking my bowel, right? He took that away with 1 foot of my bowel. So yeah, he said your bowel is 18 foot long, so now I've got 17 foot. So he took that away, and then he said you had a bit sort of down here in the bowel area, and that which is spread to the liver. So he biopsied all these places, the liver and the stomach, and then we had to wait for results. That's it, I've got that right now. So we went in there and he told us all this, and he said it might be cancer. We can't rule it out, but it might be, but then it might not be. We'll have to wait for the results to come back. So it took 6 weeks, and they were the worst 6 weeks of my life, like waiting. Oh my God, that is agony, because you're thinking, is it, isn't it, have I not? So after them 6 weeks, I'm digressing again, guys, I need to stay on track, don't I? But I'll come back to that later. But yeah, that's what happened on the, I think it was on the Thursday or the Friday. And then I spent weekend in hospital, Saturday, Sunday, where Gary and Jason come to see me, bought me fresh clothes, you know, and all that, well, pyjamas and that. Had a shower. That was nerve-wracking as well. And the first time I saw my stoma, oh my God. Oh yeah, yes, in the meantime, during the week, obviously the stoma nurse come to see me, and I said, I can't look at it. I can't look at it. It's okay, Christine, we'll do it. We'll empty it for you. We'll this, we'll that. And at that time, I had bags, like open bags. What, it's got an opening in the bottom and you empty it. So they emptied it in like this, you know, this bedpan. And I didn't look at it. I couldn't. I was like, I'm not looking. And the stoma nurse is brilliant. Kyle, he was saying like, it's okay, we'll deal with it. You don't have to look at it. Da 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 da. And so he was doing that. But then later on, when I found out like you could have clothes bags, I opted for clothes bags because it's easier with a clothes bag. Basically, when it fills up with, you know, your output, your poo, you literally just take that off and put a clean bag on. Whereas with the open bags, you have to literally empty it and then wash it out and leave it on. But I don't like that. But I think with the colostomy, it's because it's the same consistency poo that comes out of your bum, right, to put it bluntly. It's easier to change. But then with an ileostomy, that is one what you have on your right side, and it's more, that's more liquid output. So yeah, I had colostomy, which is on my left side, which is the same consistency what you get out your bum, you know. So it's just the same as that, and then it is easier. Well, it's not easy coming to terms with, but it is kind of easier to change, I guess. So I've heard anyway, from other people that have an ileostomy. But I'll talk about that further on, because that's when I met some amazing people in the chemo suite, like, and I'm still friends with them. And there's some amazing people out there that's dealing with a lot of crap, and it's hard. It is hard, but in time it does get easier. Like now it's been 8 months for me, and I'm still, you know, of course I still have them days where I'm like, I wish this never happened, I hate it, da 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 da. But you know, sometimes in life it throws us curveballs, and it's the way that we deal with it. It's our mindset and everything. And if you've got a positive mindset, it definitely helps you, and it goes a long way for you. Because you know, if you're negative and say, oh, I don't want this, and there's absolutely fuck all you can do about it, because it's happened. So basically, just look forward to living your life, because at the end of the day, we never know how long we've got left. None of us. Like, you can have cancer, but you can last for a long time, whereas somebody could be a picture of health, you think they're really healthy, they could drop down dead just like that. So just because you've got an illness doesn't mean you're going to die. And it's all about, I truly believe it's all about your mindset. Your mindset can absolutely move mountains. And I think because people are saying, oh my God, you coped so well, oh my God, you were quick healing in hospital, that's because I didn't sit in bed festering, going, oh my God, this and that. I was up and I was like, right, I can do this. I'm going to walk, because I was walking about the third day after surgery, and the nurse saw me and she was just like, what are you doing? And I thought generally I'd done, oh my God, what have I done wrong? I've done something wrong. She was like, no, Christine, like, you're up and walking like the third day. That is amazing. But to me, that's just what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to lay there festering and feeling sorry for myself. Because if you do that, that just makes you feel ill, doesn't it? It makes you feel lousy. So by having that positive mindset and going, right, you know what, I can do this, I'm going to smash this out the park. I'm not going to let this bring me down. And, you know, excuse me, guys, when you get diagnosed with cancer, it's a fucking big shock. You know, we cried. Well, both myself and Jason cried for like about a week, nearly 2 weeks. And that's okay, because we needed to release them emotions so we can move forward, so we can accept what's happening, and get on with life and move forward, and, you know, have chemo and get through that, and take chemo tablets, 12 rounds of chemo, you know. It's took its toll on my body, you know. This is the rash that I'm left with, you know, chemo rash, and, you know, dealing with skin issues. You know, some people might think, oh, chemo's easy, oh, you just have chemo and then it's done. Because in my naivety, that's exactly what I thought. I thought, oh yeah, I get chemo, I get over it and job done. No. So it's opened my eyes as well to a world where anything can happen, and chemo is not easy. It's fucking hard. It is so hard, and you're left with bad skin. You know, it can cause heart issues. It can cause a lot of issues, because of course chemo is poison. We all know that. Yes, it kills cancer, but what is it doing to your other cells, to your healthy cells? What's it doing to them? It's not good. But at the end of the day, you want to get better. So I took a lot of herbal stuff as well. Like, I'm still taking it now, like soursop, you know, that's good for killing cancer cells, so it says, you know. So I take a lot of herbal alongside, you know, the medical interventions that you have as well. So currently I'm on a 3-month break. I have a scan, well, 2 months have gone actually. I have a scan sometime next month. I think it's the end of June, sort of beginning of July, I think, where I've got to have a scan, see where that cancer's sitting on my liver. But my tumour markers were 1. Now, I got told that a person without cancer, that doesn't have cancer, the markers are normally like 2.5 to 5. So mine's 1. So, and yet I still have a bit on my liver, but I'm trying to like heal my liver as well by drinking like lime water. I love that because anything citrus is good for your liver. Liver tea, you know, detox tea. I'm taking all the natural herbs and that to help myself, because I think alongside the medical stuff, the chemo and all that, you need to help yourself as well. It's no use me going, oh, eating all junk and that and expect and have sugars, because a lot of sugar in your body causes inflammation, and inflammation isn't good for cancer at all. So you have to eat healthy and do herbal stuff alongside like medical intervention as well. But I'm definitely going to get there. I'm determined that cancer is not going to take me out. Like, what cancer? Do you know what I mean? But I'll get there and I'll get over it. And I'm just living my best life that I can, you know, at the moment. So yes, guys, I think I might leave it there. So where we were up to, I was still in hospital, wasn't I? So we've just been told, yeah, that I've got to wait 6 weeks for these results. It's the toughest 6 weeks ever, guys. So yeah, so we're in hospital, aren't we? So we're in hospital Saturday, Sunday. My son and Jason come in and we went down the shop and we had a good chat. And then on the Monday, my bloods were all fine, so they let me out. But while I was in there, I was on so many drips. My bloods were all over the place. I was having bloods like every single day, because when I went in, my blood was all over the place because of this very large tumour that I had growing in my bowel, unbeknown to me. I didn't have a clue. I always felt so well, aside from having like, you know, blood and that. I felt well. I felt really, really well. So even if you feel well, something can still be growing in your body, and it's actually really, really scary because you don't have a clue. I mean, I got told by the surgeon, like, that could have been growing for years, Christine. Absolute years, because it was really, really large. I would have loved to have seen it, like the tumour. I would have loved to have seen it just to see what it was like. But yeah, it could have been growing for years, and I had no clue whatsoever. So guys, if you ever feel ill or whatever, something doesn't feel right to you, you know, because it's your body. And like I said, you have to be your own advocate sometimes, and in the medical, absolutely. And you know, I don't trust every doctor. Oh god, no. You have to be your own advocate, you know, and work things out for yourself. If something doesn't feel right, go to the doctors and get it sorted. You know, I didn't go, you know, I kick myself now thinking, God, if I'd have gone sooner, would this, would that, would it have not spread to my liver? But thank God, really, I went when I did, because it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. It could have spread to any other organ, my lungs, wherever. So I just thank God that it's gone on my liver, yes, but we're trying to clear that now. We're trying to get rid of that. So hopefully when I go for my next scan, it'll be all gone. That's what I'm praying for. Cancer be gone, absolutely. What cancer? I have no cancer now. Do you know what I mean? Because I got told that I'm going off track, guys, but I just wanna talk and explain everything. But I got told that if it's still contained where it is, like it was last time, and still just there, I can have another 3 months, you know, off chemo and everything. But if it's, you know, the worst of the worst, I don't want to say it, because what you say, you put out there, you know what I mean. I'll have to go back on, you know, chemo, medical intervention. But I'm praying, what cancer? No cancer. That they just say, oh yeah, there's nothing there, Christine. That would be amazing. So guys, please pray for me. But I will be back very, very soon with episode 3. So where we up to? Yeah. So we're still in hospital, aren't we? We've had bloods and that. So I will pick up from there on episode 3. I hope you enjoy listening to these. I am going to do a live really, really soon on my page, because I really want to do that for you guys. I really want to help you with my, you know, mediumship, bring comfort and that, because that's what I love to do. as well as my jewellery. So guys, sending you all the love in the world, and I will see you all soon. Take care, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and look after yourselves. Sending you lots and lots of love. I will be back soon with episode 3. Mwah. Lots of love. Bye.